again and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning team.
Tonight, from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Saints come out for their first drive, and the man at quarterback with big shoes to fill. A guy who can do a little bit of everything. It's Taysom Hill, the fourth-year man from BYU.
Playing discussion about whether 2020 turns out to be Drew Brees' final season as a quarterback in the NFL. So in New Orleans, the race will be on to see who succeeds him in 2021. And we know that Taysom Hill is a guy that this organization absolutely loves. People call him a Swiss Army knife of a quarterback. He's only thrown 13 passes in NFL competition, but the Saints believe in his potential, and his legs get him out of trouble as well.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Off of play action. Hill. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was...
And he'll take it in the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, 47 yards. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans.
Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. On the return, it's Taylor. A good-looking return set up here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Their own 30-yard line.
Newton and the Patriots with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. The shotgun snap for Newton. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
3rd down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
The ball carrier.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, New England.
A play fake to Michel. Now Newton. That's going to be caught. It's Jakobi Meyers. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Michel. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play. So now 3rd down coming up.
The tackle made back at his own 49.
From the gun, here's Newton. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. Here's Hill. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. It's the former Michigan man, Chase Winovich, who gets in there to bring him down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31-yard line.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
36-yard line.
Play action. It's Hill. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. Ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. David McCoy picks it off. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line.
1st and 10.
They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense. But the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. They'll run it. This is Michel. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Saints.
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Got his man, that's Harry. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. From the red zone now, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. First throw now for the backup Breeze. And got his man, complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Emmanuel Sanders with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints have taken the lead.
Saints.
Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. James White, the man he was looking for out of the backfield. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Third down.
Newton to throw. Take him down for the sack. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind. The chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Well, pass complete here to Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 48.
They fake the give. Here's Brees. Finding Taysom Hill complete. He just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 51 yards. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
I'd have to say we're all a little bit surprised there because at his age, with his speed, or should I say lack thereof, the only rushing touchdowns I would expect are on quarterback sneaks. But here, he found all of his guys covered. He said, why not? And by the way, if that doesn't fire up your team to see the veteran like that risking his body for the touchdown, I don't know what will.
Well, Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
New England trying to get to place on offense, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. The tight end, Dalton Keene, the target. But it'll be 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Going up top. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as he'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down here. They're also in the field goal range at the 28. 21 yards there. A big play on fourth down.
They were backed up to start the drive, but how about that aggressiveness? Firing it downfield right away. Nice job there getting out towards what would have been their normal starting position.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A final shot before half for Breeze. This time is going to run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the game's all-time leading passer, Drew Brees. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators.
We saw this franchise do this back in the 2009 Super Bowl. The Saints will start the second half with an onside kick. And this is secured by the Patriots. And where have we seen this before?
Oh, that's ambush.
Payton.
That's ambush. We've seen that. What was it, Super Bowl 44?
44.
Right? New Orleans against the Indianapolis Colts. Right after the half, they get it done. I'm so sorry to jump in. I just violated partner and booth etiquette 101.
That's all right. If you come in with an ambush and you come in strong like that, I feel like it's justified.
My apologies, but boy, what a play.
On first down, it's Newton. Got a man open, that's Harry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. Even though New England doesn't play the NFC South that often, Cam Newton very familiar with his defense, of course, as he played against him twice a year from 2011 all the way through 2019 as a member of the Carolina Panthers. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
He was brought down.
And here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They fake the give. Newton. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Cam Newton.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to...
Cam fouled. He lost the football. It's out. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Drew Brees.
Well, that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Breeze now on 1st down. That one complete to him. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a gain of 16 yards. Shotgun now for Breeze.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, who's going to make a play? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. Now, Breeze again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver once again, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
attempt here from the 20. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards.
Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
And this is secured by the Patriots. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. From the 41, Newton throwing middle, but it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target. 3rd down here. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And 7 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. He'll drop it underneath to White. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has him total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. He was looking for his tight end, Devin Asiasi there. But now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, Newton. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pelt.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 35. We got position on him, and he pulls it in. 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Saints 30, Patriots 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints add on to their lead. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have...
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
The 2-point conversion is no good. That keeps the score Saints.
I know we could sit up here
Patriots 10.
and dance around it a little bit.
Will Lutz to kick
But
off.
going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And this is secured by the Patriots. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
Well, pass dropped off here for James White. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. New England on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he will have a Patriots first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Michel. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And that one complete to Keene, the tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Newton. This is White on the screen. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They snap it to Newton. And it is incomplete. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down, and the Saints will have the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call? Is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And they'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Refusing to go down. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
10 at the 14-yard line.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
To the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Well, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Will bring the Saints offense up to go for 2 here. They're going to keep it on the ground. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes has a way of catching up with you.
Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken in the end zone. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Newton on first down. He'll get this underneath to Michel. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A shotgun snap for Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
Williams on the coverage.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Harris to return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just added their totals.
Third down, as a defender, all you're thinking about is getting off the field. How do you stop this last play? But if you don't wrap up when you tackle and you play it back like this, all of a sudden he's taking it to the house, and now you're looking at each other wondering, what did we do wrong on that play?
Will bring his guys to the line to go for 2. From the gun, it's Breeze. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
52.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Marcus Davenport, his second sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
This is Dev B.